What is up, everyone? I know it's been a while. I am sorry. I'm getting things kind of organized. This is the first time I've gone live. I think maybe month, 2, 3 months, forever. This is actually the first time I've posted a full video exclusively to this channel. So I apologize for that because I've been working on the vlog stuff, a lot of social media stuff, but a lot of that's come from just like work and life. And as you can see, the world is crazy. So sometimes it is very hard to sit down and make yap content about comics when your brain is just so fogged up. But I do appreciate all of you. I hope you guys had an amazing holiday season and hope you guys got to spend it with friends, family. You're safe in these times. It's also like a blizzard outside, which is insane. But I wanted to catch up and sort of talk comics with you guys. I don't know if anyone is gonna show up because, like all of my lives, I just decide like, hey, I'm gonna go live, and people like me, so maybe they'll show up or whatever. Instead of like doing a predetermined time and promoting it and all that kind of stuff. So I apologize for that. But I did want to do this. Like I said, I love everyone that supported this channel. It's naturally introverted, and I even doing this sometimes I feel like I look like a fool, and that is why I always appreciate anyone that subscribes to the channel, anyone that watches a video, anyone that dislikes a video, anyone that likes a video, anyone that sort of even just sees it on their feed. Appreciate all of you. But yeah, let's talk some comics. Despite me being out of it for a little bit, comics have not stopped. DC is still killing it. Marvel, but there's been some positive things, like some Captain America has been awesome, and this year I think on Wednesday Iron Man comes out, which is going to be really cool and exciting. And then there's some other books, so hopefully they don't shoot themselves in the foot. And in terms of the Ultimate Universe, it's coming to an end, which is sad because one, it's ending, and then two, you could tell that they didn't really plan this ending really well because the books are kind of rushing through plot lines and all that kind of stuff. But I digress. Let's talk about some comics that I really enjoy. I got last week's batch right here, and it was a really solid week. Green Lantern, Galactic Slam, really good. Jeremy Adams bringing back a character they introduced in their Flash run, which is the Omega Man. He's awesome, and I think this book is like pretty thick. How many pages does it say in here? This might be like a 30-40 pager, which is good. I was kind of like reading it and I was like, oh, this, they got a lot of cover in this, and then I realized it was a thicker book. Alien versus Captain America. This is awesome. I love this book. It's one of the few things Marvel gets right, which is their Alien and Predator books. The Philip Kennedy Johnson book that came out a couple years ago was awesome. This is dope. Frank Thierry did a really good Sabretooth book. I think it was either last year or the year before last. I think it's like The Dead Don't Talk. It's like Gangsters of New York, but like Sabretooth. He does great work. This book is dope. Supernatural, number 4. So good. So good. Like, this book captures exactly what those first 5 seasons of Supernatural felt like. Greg Pak, and who's doing the art on this? This might be a variant, which I try to get the color A's. Gerardo Gambone and Vincenzo Federici are the artists on this. And this book, like I said, if you're a fan of Supernatural, this captures that early vibe. I miss Supernatural. I miss Sam and Dean. This is dope. Mothman, yes, appreciate you coming in. I'm glad you came over. Uh, yeah, Galactic Slam was awesome. It's exactly what a tie-in book should be. Jeremy Adams wrote a really great tie-in for Night Terrors, and I feel like they're the only one that kind of gets the assignment when it comes to like what a tie-in book should be, or like those one shots. So that was really cool. And like you said, Kyle's in it, so extra points. Love Kyle. Captain America, number 6. This is still really good from Chip Zdarsky. Great. It's kind of like a jumping on point because it's a new arc. But what I will say about this is, like Ultimate Endgame and the Ultimate Universe, where it seems like it's rushing through things, I could kind of tell that this book in particular, like, they changed the scope of what this Captain America book was going to be like, because there's so many things that it ties into, and it reintroduces Shield, which is all great, but it's a lot to kind of take in. So good jumping on point, but you can tell Marvel is putting a lot on Chip Zdarsky. He's going to be writing Armageddon. He's got a Wolverine Armageddon tie-in miniseries or whatever. But great book, one of the better ones at Marvel. This alongside Infernal Hulk, hopefully Iron Man is going to be great. All the Ultimate stuff. This is really good. It's great to have a Marvel book in the mainline universe that I'm picking up on a monthly basis that I'm excited to jump into. So great book. Um, this not much else needs to be said, especially with what's going on right now in this country. But I had to pick up another copy of Absolute Batman Annual. The second printing was out. I kind of wanted the cover A, but then I was like, I already have a cover A with the first printing, so I kind of wanted something different. If I do go to the shop this week, I am going to see if they still have cover A's available, because now I kind of want another one. Hopefully, Daniel Warren Johnson is at New York Comic Con this year, because I would love to get these signed and talk to him, even if it's briefly for 2 seconds, to tell him what this book means. Also, the work they've been doing in terms of like just posting their art. I think you can feel very helpless in these times. So to see certain artists post their anti-ice art, especially when they're freelancers, their work is not guaranteed. So to put their neck out and speak through their art is amazing. And then in particular, like Daniel Warren Johnson's case, actually make an absolute Batman book where he is brutalizing white supremacists and saving like migrants. It's such a good book, one of the best of 2025, and I'm glad it got a second printing so more people get a chance to read it, enjoy the art, because it is important. Then kind of like my pick of the week, Assorted Crisis Events number 8. Wow. I kind of almost wanted to cry reading this. I think Dennis Camp just knows how to find me at the right time. When I read issue 1, I got to go to a signing that Dennis Camp had at Bulletproof Comics. And I told him, like, hey, like, this book, I feel like it captures, and even the Ultimates too, like, the insanity of the world we live in, and how like you kind of have to continue living on despite all these things, and you have to live like things are normal and stuff. And this book captures all of that while being a great comic. And in particular, this issue, you really have to get it in print. Yes, you can still enjoy the story if you read it digitally or however you read it, but this is actually on newsprint, which is awesome. And then also the last page, which is not really a page, it's kind of like the back cover. It has a blank space that you can draw, that it asks you to draw love. So essentially what you see as love. And it really caps off an amazing story. And I really, again, when artists are able to connect with you in that way, I found that in the last couple weeks, which I've had some personal stuff go on, and obviously what's going on in the world, I have found pieces of art, whether it be this Frankenstein I saw and I cried at the end of it, this book, revisiting, Absolute Batman Annual #1. It's all been great, and this is what art should be. Hey, you should be able, and I think that is in a like the era of AI, like what art is connecting through it, your human experience. And Dennis Camp has been doing that, even with the Ultimates, where I think this last arc is probably being rushed through. I still very much love that book and love what they have to say. But yeah, it's cool stuff. Yes, you need to read Ace. It's so good. I'm really lucky that I live in New York and I'm able to go to the Midtown Comics in Times Square. They have stock for days. Like if a book is sold out, even at other Midtown Comics, I a couple weeks ago I went to Midtown Comics downtown for like New Comic Book Day, and or a couple days after, and they were sold out of Absolute Superman 15, and I was like shocked. I was like, what's going on? And they're like, they had it at Times Square. I was like, of course. So Times Square is kind of like a mega store. Like they always, and they usually, like if a book is hot, they'll limit it to one per customer so that like people get to read it. And I've been seeing that a lot more with certain books. I don't know if people have been specking or whatever, but they really do a good job of making sure if you want to read a book, there are copies always going to be there at least for the first week. After that, I think they do like take off the limits or sell it online and stuff like that. But it is I'm really lucky that I have that shop. Honestly, it's pretty cool. But also outside of all that cool stuff, DC solicitations drop for April, and with that you have some of the next level stuff like Zatanna, some further issues of the Flash. So I'm really excited about what's to come with DC. You have Mad Magazine coming out, Absolute Batman, I think 19, which is the introduction of Absolute Scarecrow, who, like every villain in the Absolute Batman universe, is terrifying. uh, Zatanna from Jamal Campbell, like that's gonna be awesome. Like the cover, Jorge Corona is doing a cover, which is they've done. I think all the main they have like a variant for all the next level books. Like we've seen it for Deathstroke, Lobo, and Batwoman, and now Zatanna. So I'm really excited for all those covers. And Zatanna, it's Zatanna, so you're gonna get a bunch of like covers that are gonna sell. There is an Adam Hughes cover, which is awesome. Adam Hughes obviously did some classic Zatanna covers, so it's great that DC got them back for a cover on the number one. And I think as time goes, like shops order more, there'll probably be more covers, which will be really kind of fun. What else is coming? We have Firestorm, the Fury of Firestorm number one. Again, Jorge Corona did a cover, which is awesome. This is Jeff Lemire with Rafael De La Torre. Jeff Lemire did a cover. I love this cover. If I had all the money in the world, I would buy this cover from Jeff Lemire, but I do not have all the money in the world. Really dope to see Jeff Lemire on a character like Firestorm. What they've been doing at DC since they've kind of returned is really sort of like main. I mean, JSA is kind of like mainstream, and Absolute Flash is about as mainstream as you can get. But Firestorm is a character that I think people have wanted to see for a really long time. And with Next Level, sort of the thesis behind it is getting creators that want to do these characters. So the fact that a creator like Jeff Lemire wants to do Firestorm is exciting to me. I never really cared too much about Firestorm. Like I seen them in Blackest Night. Also, they were in Injustice 2. They were in the Arrowverse. So that's kind of like where my Firestorm knowledge starts and ends. So I would love a Firestorm book. That's awesome. I think this is Riley Rossmo. Yep, Riley Rossmo. This cover is awesome. I love Riley Rossmo's art. Another artist, if I had all the money in the world, I would definitely be seeing more of. I would get more of their art. What's up, Mark? I love the Firestorm character, but the creative team for the Next Level title doesn't excite me that much. I don't know, Mark. I think Jeff Lemire is pretty good. Animal Man, all the stuff like Black Hammer, Absolute Flash. So for me, the creative team is actually the draw when it comes to Firestorm. Yes, Mothman. I'm probably gonna try like Deathstroke. Deathstroke is one of those characters that I feel like is like kind of like one note in a lot of ways and is a monster. But I like Tony Fleesh, and the pitch behind it is kind of like this '90s like John Wick type story, which I think is cool. Like I'll try that for a couple issues. I think that I tried out Deathstroke Inc., which was okay, and I think there was an arc where it was like Deathstroke Year One, which was a cool like I think Ed Brisson wrote that, and it was cool. Like I think Christopher Priest wrote a really good Deathstroke because he acknowledged that Deathstroke is not a good person at all, not an anti-hero or anything like that. So I think that was a fascinating read. But to kind of have like, Deathstroke, the most dangerous, and Tony Flee's like, if you've read Local Man, like that 90s sort of like edge and stuff like that is very much in parts of that book. So I'm excited to see Tony Fleece on a big two book like that. Like they've been doing stuff at Marvel with the Thing and stuff, but I feel like Deathstroke is a perfect fit for them. So, again, with these next level books, some of them, Zatanna is a character that I'm like, hey, for sure, that's like number one, what I'm gonna go for. But the creative teams behind some of these books are more of the exciting aspect for me. Yeah, GK, Lobo and Firestorm, that's instant pull. And I think, honestly, all of the books right now, like once they announce, I'm excited for them to announce whoever is doing the Etrigan the Demon book. There's so many books, the Barbara Gordon one. Speaking of next level, dude, I love Danny's artwork. This stream might be just me talking about how, like, if I had money I'd buy all this original art, but Danny, I love their work. They did a Arkham series with Dan Waters a couple years ago, which kind of introduced me to Dan Waters. And it's one of the best Bat books you'll ever read. So I'm excited to see them on one of these books. They just did they're doing Invisible Man with James Tynan, and I need to catch up on that. So that's cool. Speaking of Deathstroke, we have Deathstroke the Terminator #2. Is this a Kirkham? Yep, Tyler Kirkham cover. Perfect fit. That'll definitely sell a bunch of covers. Dan Panosian, who does a cover for everything these days. March. This is awesome. Who's the main artist on this? Carmine Di Gian Domenico. I'm sorry, I butchered that. But looks cool. I am down for it. Let's look at the solicitation. Someone's taken everything from Deathstroke, and hell hath no fury like assassin scorn. He's on the road to find a mysterious client, but it won't be easy. He's lost his money, his resources, his family, his best friend, and moral compass. What moral compass? He's Deathstroke. What happens when the world's most terrifying assassin has nothing left? Wonder who will be attached to the Shadow of the Bat title. That's another thing. There's so much with Next Level that hasn't even been announced. I think what's cool about Next Level versus All In was continuing a lot of the books that already were kind of in going on. Like there were some newer books that were like 5 issues, 6 issues, and stuff like that. But All In was very much about like creating like new jumping on points for these books that already existed. With Next Level, it's all new series. It feels like kind of like absolute in a way. So I love this ethos. I'm excited about it. Marvel, do something like this because I want to be that excited about some Marvel books. Yo, Jay, what's good? Excited. Yeah, GK. The creative team is dope. I love Tony Felice, so I'm gonna be there for Deathstroke. Another great creative team, the Lobo one. Scotty Young and Jorge Corona. Jorge was amazing on Transformers. I got to meet them at Comic Con. I did an interview, a roundtable for the Transformers book. Funny enough, I left this hat under the table, and he was almost questioned like, "Hey, like, did someone leave this hat? And like, should I take it?" when I went back for it. But funny little moment. But I'm excited for that. They're working crazy because not only are they doing this book, but it looks like they're doing all the cover, like at least one variant cover for all these Next Level books, which is really cool. Who did this cover? Boo, Sweeney Boo probably. Liber Mejo, that's cool. Mecha Lobo, that's awesome. Kirkham's getting a lot of DC work, so if you're a Tyler Kirkham fan. Oh, the book after Hush Tua, Batman and Wonder Woman, the with Jim Chung, I think. Yes, so this is a team up between Batman and Wonder Woman. I think Hush 2, my main issue with Hush 2 is that it felt like an idea that they locked in a box 20 years ago. I was like, let's dust it off and let's do this. And it kind of disregards a lot of like the character progression of all these characters and all that kind of stuff. But I think Jeff Loeb gets like a lot of like hate lately, but for me, I'm like, hey, you wrote Hush. I like the first Hush. You wrote Hush. You wrote Dark Victory. You wrote The Long Halloween. you get a pass. You get a pass in my book for all of those. Yes, Montos is a great artist. What they've been doing on GL, they're going to be a superstar. I know when the book was, so they're just great. Um, yeah, Mothman. Certain titles are getting some new names for next level. I'm excited. Honestly, the next level is going to be exciting because I think with Absolute they haven't really sort of expanded the line too much. Like we're going to get Absolute Catwoman and maybe some other stuff, Absolute Green Lantern, which are like 6 issue minis and stuff like that, which are more into like the summer. So what's kind of like what's new and hot in the DC universe is next level. And like I said, I am more pumped about sort of like those mainline books than I was for All In. All In was new creative teams, same books. Those are continuing. I think this has more of like a fresh new like energy, which I'm excited about. But yeah, I think I'm gonna give this a try. Like I think Jeff Lowe works with some like really great artists. I'm not really familiar with Jim Chung too much, but like Batman and Wonder Woman. We'll see. I'm gonna check it out. Absolute Batman number 19. Yes, like look how scary. Like what is going through Nick Dragata's head when he's creating all these characters. I was thinking about working on a video about like how the Absolute Universe one should get a game, but like how it's very similar to what they were doing with the Arkham games in terms of like reinventing some designs, or like Killer Croc, Scarecrow. You had Joker in the Titans and stuff like that. So yeah, Absolute Scarecrow. The stuff nightmares are made of. Some cool covers. Who is this? Olivetti. This is cool, really cool. My one beef with some like variant covers when it comes to Absolute Batman is that like Absolute Batman is like 20, so I like the way Dragotta draws him, where he kind of has like a young face, but a lot of variant artists draw him like he's the Dark Knight Returns Frank Miller Batman, which is still awesome, still cool, but I do want that young Batman feel. Is that Liam Sharp? Yeah, wishful thinking. Yeah, next crossover. You're right, Mark. Oh, look. The hierarchy of power in the Absolute Universe is about to change. It looks like we're getting either Absolute Shazam or Absolute Black Adam, which is cool. Like, I think what's kind of been strange about Absolute Superman, I like the book, but a lot of the villains, I mean, we've seen Absolute Brainiac, but like Raj Al Ghul, now we're getting Black Adam or Shazam, aren't really like traditional Superman villains. Like, yes, like they've crossed paths and stuff like that, um, but I would definitely like to see more of like Absolute Batman's mythos, sort of like I mean Absolute Superman, sorry. Superman's like mythos kind of reinvented. And I know they're kind of like saving Lex Luthor the same way they're saving Joker. Um, but I feel like it hasn't had that same build up. And I do want to see more of that. But good book overall. Who did this cover? Gerard Perel. This is really cool. Oh, Absolute Martian Manhunter. Speaking of assorted crisis events earlier, love, love, love this book. So dope to see a Absolute Martian Manhunter book. Still going, continued because of the support. The Rock reference is hilarious. Yes, yes, I appreciate that. Appreciate that. I've been holding that in my back pocket for a while. Love Absolute Martian Manhunter. Not much else to say. Absolute Wonder Woman this week. Absolute Zatanna is introduced, which is awesome. Hayden Sherman is one of the best in the game, which is like it's crazy. Like last year when I went to, or the year before when I went to Comic Con, and Absolute Wonder Woman hadn't come out yet. They had like an ash can and stuff like that. Had no line, sweetest person. And I talked my friend into getting that ash can and a remark and all that. And then this year, this past October, passing their booth, like there was not a time where there wasn't a line. Similarly to Nick Dragata. Nick Dragata, but Absolute Batman had come out at that point. The hype is built up for Absolute Batman, but it's awesome to see
their profile rise, and especially when it happens to good people, you love that. Absolute Green Lantern. There's things in Absolute Green Lantern I have no idea what is going on, but I love it. It was the absolute book that shocked me the most. It was like kind of like at the bottom of my list because I was like, oh, like evil Hal Jordan again. I didn't really love Far Sector, so Joe as a main character wasn't necessarily interesting to me. And then I read the first issue, and it was fantastic. It's so good. I love Absolute Green Lantern. Love that book. Absolute Flash, probably on the bottom of my absolute, rankings. But that's mainly because it feels like a traditional superhero book in a lot of ways. I think it's picking up. There's some things happening in it right now that I'm really interested in. And also I think part of it is I disappointed myself. I was like, oh, like I built this book up. One of my most viewed videos on this channel is an absolute like flash video of me being hype and building it up. So I was so hyped for this book, and it's cool. Like it's not a bad one. It's good. It just feels like all the other absolute books are kind of going like in a very different direction, where I feel like Absolute Flash feels like absolute, not absolute, but it feels like Flash, like Earth One or something, if that makes sense. Like I'm trying to kind of like make it make sense in my head, but like it feels more like an Earth One book. If you remember when they were doing Earth One books with like Batman, I think Lemire even did like Teen Titans at that point. Um, there was a Wonder Woman one and stuff like that. Like it feels more like that. Yeah, Absolute Green Lantern. I'm not surprised it grew on you. Like it's so good. Like the art. Like I saw previews of the art, and I was like, I don't know. But Janori Lindsay, like actually reading the book, it's been like really cool to see that. Mark, I heard this is where I come to pretend Absolute Martian Manhunter is good. It's really good, so you don't have to pretend. uh, Batman is this number 8. Love this book. This is probably like one of my favorite ongoings right now. Such a fun book. Every issue is self-contained. It's the easiest recommendation you can make because it's Batman, it's Matt Fraction, it's Jorge Jimenez. What Jorge Jimenez is doing with his art, like being on Batman for such a long time and still being able to do different things. I love it. I love this book. Every time I'm like I read it, I'm excited to crack it open. I love the covers. Is this yes, Dustin Yang, one of my favorite artists of all time. Uh, love this book. These David Aya covers, like I think they're 1 in 25. They need to make them like regular C's or whatever. Like, I get it. You have to make money. I'm sure they're expensive as an artist, but I would like to be able to buy more of those covers. Nightwing, the name of this channel. Dan Waters. Dennis Cowan is taking over main art, which is insane. Speaks to how like really well the book is doing. Like, you know, I think Dexter Soy was great, but the fact that you're able to get like Dennis Cowan, like you have to be making a lot of money in in monthly sales to be like, all right, we're gonna go from Dexter Soy, who's awesome, and then we're gonna go to Dennis Cowan, which is insane. So excited about this. Excited. It's like a fast. Like honestly, it's cool to see how good um, Dan Waters is as being versatile. Like I always thought of them as like sort of like this very like sort of avant-garde like writer and all that, and they're still like that, but like Nightwing is just fun. Like it's exactly what that book needs to be. Yeah, let's see. My bad. Just looking for the chat. But love Nightwing. I've been
I'm a little behind. I've been reading it mostly through DC Infinite, which is cool, but I think I need to like start reading it more on a monthly basis because I need to catch up before Dennis Cowan goes on, which is gonna be fun. I'm excited for it. Well, let's see. Too many other good Bat books to recommend ahead of this. I don't know. Some of them ended like Dark Waters ended. Absolute Batman. I feel like Absolute Batman is like on a another level. Like there's like that's separate. But Dark Patterns was probably it's very interesting. Like Dan Waters, Hayden Sherman. I would find like new readers, like if you are someone that isn't into like comics and looking for something new, like I know I've recommended Jorge Jimenez and Matt Fraction's Batman to plenty of people at work, also through like social media and stuff like that, and that's something people have been loving. So I know it's very digestible. Like it's, hey, here's this, you get a little bit of Robin, you get some action, you get some romance. I think Matt Fraction's like really kind of like operating on another level on that book. So that is like the first Batman book I actually recommend. Then what else we have here? Catwoman. I have not. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I have no idea what's going on in Catwoman. Who's writing this? Taran Kronbeck, who did some cool stuff at Marvel, but I haven't been on that. I do want to catch up on Batgirl. I've read the first couple issues, and the fact that we're on issue 18 of Batgirl speaks to the quality of that book. There are books at Marvel that can't get past 10 that have bigger names than Batgirl, so it's really a testament to how good that book is. Superman, also behind on Superman, which I regret because I hear some really good things. I love Dan Mora art, but every time I go back into Superman, I am lost. So I definitely need to do a deep dive on DC Infinite before catching up because Superboy Prime is back, and the disappearance of Superman after DCKO, which we don't know what's happening at the end of it, is going to have huge implications on that book. So, oh look, John, Superman Unlimited. Not reading that. What else? Is that Cyborg Supergirl? I think I might need to start reading Supergirl if we're gonna get a Cyborg Supergirl. That is pretty cool. Is it, Mark? I don't know. I tried to go back like when Dan Mora took over like interiors and stuff like that. Maybe it's because I just Superman, like in terms of like ongoings, like outside of Philip Kennedy Johnson's like Action Comics, I never really sort of like was into it. I love Superman as a character, so maybe I need to go back. And also Joshua Williamson is very like solid on like their Robin, their Flash, and all that kind of stuff. So I have to go back. John de-age. I think that would be the best thing that has happened to John in quite a while. I feel like they don't know what to do with him, and they constantly introduce like new status quos for them, and they also bring back other Superboys or Supermen. So I feel like the thing that made John special, which was like kid Superman's child, they just stripped that from him. And for a 10 issue series and now like the momentum that they had with Super Sons and stuff like that, I feel like that was such a missed opportunity. I get what they were trying to go for, but like you could have made an anime, you could have like figured out how to make that Super Sons into a compact comic, or there's so many things they could have done with John and also Damian, like that. Like they should have like a animated show right now for kids, but they definitely fumbled that when it comes to John. Action Comics 1097. I've actually been liking Action Comics. That's been a fun book. Mark Waid, Hayden Sherman on a variant cover. Which variant cover is that? Which one is that? I think I've seen it posted by Hayden Sherman on their Instagram. So, but yeah. What is this? Mr. Terrific cover.
What is this book? Oh, Justice League Unlimited 18. Another Mark Waid book. Justice League Intergalactic Special. I don't know who Jadzia Axelrod is. And I don't know who Nicole Maines is. Let's see. Looks like Dreamer's back if she ever left. Cool. I think this is Detective Comics 1108. You got Green Arrow. You got Black Canary. What's crazy? I thought this was like the Arcadia book, the like Green Arrow crossover thing. Yeah, they got derailed. Yeah. Um, it kind of sucks, man. It kind of sucks. So much potential with John. So hopefully they de-age him and they figure something out. Because I think obviously I think the lineup for this year's Compact Comics has been released, but I think if they did Super Sons and Compact, they'd print money. It would introduce so many new readers, and they'd put it in if they put it in the right place, people would love that. Wonder Woman 32 from Tom King. Tomorrow, I didn't say this during the live, is my birthday. And Tom King was supposed to be doing a signing at Midtown, and they had to cancel it because of the snow, which sucks. I bought. I think I have it there. Do I have it there? I have it somewhere, but I bought the compact comic for for the signing, even though I didn't particularly love a lot of Tom King books, but I was like, oh, this would be like a cool like giveaway or something like that, and then I was like, they canceled the signing, so I guess it was like a sign that like, hey, like you're not particularly passionate about like Tom King, so this is what you get. But I thought it would be cool to meet him, and all the sort of conversation online about them. They always have a line. Oh yeah, it is Sunday night. Tom King Talk is on Tuesdays. Appreciate you, Comic Pals, whoever is signed in, whether it be Sean, Marco, or Tyler. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Always supporting. And you guys definitely have put battery in my back when it comes to getting better at this live stuff. So appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for the happy early birthday. I'm going to try to do something tomorrow if the whole city isn't under snow. So day after tomorrow vibes going on in New York City. But Wonder Woman number 32, that's still going. Harley Quinn, David Nakayama. Oh, this is cool. This is the, absolute Batman homage. That's cool. I have no idea what's going on in this Harley Quinn book, but hey, 61. Harley Quinn 61. Jesus. Whoa, guys, I'm sorry. I had to see. We're on Harley Quinn number 61, and we can't get an X book past like 10 issues. Marvel, get it together. Get it together. Uh, Appreciate you, Sean. Appreciate you, Sean. Hopefully I see you New Comic Book Day. This week, what is new? Iron Man. So yeah, hopefully we get to see each other. Um, but yeah, Harley Quinn 61. Wow. Wow. Yeah, Poison Ivy. Well, with Poison Ivy, I always like, there's always going to be gooners at the comic shop. So, like, those covers, sell the book on its own. But Harley Quinn, I mean, like, look, it's not even a revealing cover or anything like that. Like, so that's where it's kind of like, oh, like, where did that happen? When did 61 issues happen? And speaking of Poison Ivy, here's Poison Ivy. Like, Catwoman and Poison Ivy, that's going to sell books. This cover, that's going to sell books. So I get it. I get Poison Ivy. But Harley Quinn at 61? It's insane. Harley and Ivy, Life and Crimes, number 5. Still going longer than some of these X books. Adventures of Superman. I've been a little disappointed with this. It's supposed to kind of go back to that, Action Comics era and stuff like that. I fell off of it after like issue 3 and stuff, so maybe I need to go back. Because I think the first 2 issues were doing a lot to kind of like catch people up and sort of like get people. What books do do I recommend Gooning for? I would say anything that Dynamite is publishing. Dynamite public, they definitely have all those covers that you could definitely want. But they also, funny enough, do a lot of cool license books. I talked about it earlier, but where is it? Supernatural. This Supernatural book, I'm gooning to it. It is so good. This is so good. So, yeah, Dynamite, and they're coming out with the Ben 10 book pretty soon, which is exciting, especially if you're a Ben 10 fan, because they haven't done anything with Ben 10 in years. Batman Superman World's Finest, issue number 50. Huge issue. Dan Morris coming back for the art. Look at this cover. That's awesome. Weird Al. If you're a speculator, buy these covers, because these covers sometimes unexpectedly go up. Troy, who I co-host the Bada Boom podcast with, when we were going to Comic Con, he was looking for the Jack White World's Finest, which I think on eBay was like $30 or something like that, and we were looking for it. But lucky enough, I went to Dan Mora's booth, and he was selling it for like cover. So Troy got it from Dan Mora himself and got it signed. So that's pretty cool. Space Ghost. You got a Mark Spears, Superman with no neck. If you're if you're into that, I think this is Adrian Gutierrez, who is the main artist on it right now. A lot of cool covers. World's Finest, I think, is cool because I feel like it really set the stage for the state of DC, where you have Mark Waid sort of like taking a lead. And it's cool to see it hit issue 50 again. When you're hitting those milestone issues in today's day and age is amazing. Bizarro is getting a book from Kevin Smith, who, if you don't know, is the person I'm into comics for. Like, my first comic that I ever got was Green Arrow Quiver, so that was awesome. Oh, look at this. You got another Weird Al cover. But this one is the Bizarro cover, so they're normal Al. Where we're going, we don't need next. Exactly. That's what Mark Spears. Is this a Frank Quietly cover? Again, if I had all the money in the world, I would not tell you guys, but there would be signs like a Frank Quietly Bizarro cover in my background. So you guys would know. Ooh, the Brave and the Bold are back. We got well, actually not really, because this is Wally and Kyle, not Wally and Hal, or Barry and Hal. So interesting. 90s. Mark, there's your guy, John Jang. Galactic. Look, Omega Bandman, he's back. I think if you let Jeremy Adams, do it, he would have a solo series of Omega Bandman. Are we hedging bets on what issue would be delayed first? I think we haven't gotten to any Jim Lee books, so I think if there were any Jim Lee books on here, that would be everyone's bet. That would be easy money. Green Lantern Corps 15. Morgan Hampton is taking over the book. He's been co-writing it with Jeremy Adams, but now he is the solo writer. This I'm excited about. Flash, new creative team, Ryan North, Gavin Goudry, Comic Pals, Gavin Goudry, who's been, if you're a fan of the Comic Pals like me, is always in the chat. Great artist. Glad to see them sort of ascend the DC ranks. And I'm excited for this new. Ryan North has been doing great work on Fantastic Four. Their Crypto series was awesome. I think the Flash needs to have a new creative team, because honestly, the Cy Spurrier stuff was kind of like a downer. Like, they went from Jeremy Adams, which was like really like positive and all that, and kind of like brought Wally back. And then I can appreciate them trying to go into that, like, that scientific horror element. But I didn't really love it. I can appreciate the creative direction, but I fell out of the book. And now that you have Ryan North, it's really cool. Am I worried about like Marvel writers coming to DC? Not when they're the good ones. Not when the Ryan North is awesome. So I'm excited to see, and they've done some cool books. And it's happened like lately. Like you saw Matt Fraction, you know, is notoriously like a Marvel guy. He's on Batman. I love that book. And I think a lot of what's going on at Marvel is more like editorial, lack of direction. So I don't mind. Like I think they have a lot of talent. Like I love Benjamin Percy, you know, when their books aren't getting relaunched 20 times, you know. That's why I mostly fall out of like Marvel books is because I just lose track of what volume I'm on and the direction of the books, and I think that has less to do with the talent. So I'm actually glad to see some different kind of writers because I'm at DC, you know, I'm used to a certain batch. So to see some of the Marvel people get, especially like Ryan North on Flash is a perfect match. That's like perfect casting. Like he's been doing a scientific, you know, Fantastic Four book for 2 years. The Flash is the perfect character for him, and I think the positivity, also Gavin Guthrie on it. Like this book is probably. I have a thumbnail, and this is how I make my videos to give you a little bit of behind the scenes. I create a thumbnail first before I make the video. So I've been meaning to make a Flash video for quite a bit, which is really cool. I don't know. I think like the Superman Unlimited didn't really love, but I love Absolute Green Lantern. I think Ewing's been awesome on that. And I think what's honestly happening is that like you know Scott Snyder and Joshua Williamson are just recruiting people like, hey, what books you want to do? Like people they really like. So I mean Scotty Young on Lobo's perfect, and there's some other people, but like I mean DC still has like their heavyweights like Mark Wade, Scott Snyder, and stuff like that. And they're starting to publish more books, which is good. So I think there's enough to go around, you know, and especially not that it's like a bunch of like Batman books. Like we got the Vertigo books that are coming out, which are going to be really fun and really interesting. I love Dennis Camp. But I think like now, like with writers, there's less people that are kind of like exclusive in that way. You know, very few, unless like you're Jonathan Hickman or like Scott Snyder, where like the company has to lock you in. But I think it goes both ways. Like Joshua Williamson is the architect of the DC universe, and he's doing an Iron Man book. So I think it happens both ways. Is that Crypto and Wally? That's a pretty cool cover. Ooh, who did this one? This one's pretty cool. This is a really dope cover. Again, there would be signs. There would be signs. Aquaman. Awesome book. Awesome book. Emperor Aquaman. What's dope about DC is that if the, you know, this is not a shit on Marvel stream, but I love that they're not relaunching Aquaman despite him having this new status quo post KO. I'm I'm excited. I love Jeremy Adams books, and he does not disappoint. Is April like crypto month or something like that? Like, why does every series have a crypto thing? JSA year one, Gavin Goodry again, Jeff Lemire. Gotta catch up on that. Titans, I have no idea what's going on in Titans. Swamp Thing, Rick Veitch, their Swamp Thing is coming back. Awesome cover. This is like if you're, it's one of those like cult things, like the series that they never finished. So more Swamp Thing. I'm excited about it. Dark Tide is here. I mean, Aquaman is like I said it earlier. Like even the tie-in issue was like awesome. End of Life, Kyle Starks, Steve Pugh. I love Kyle Starks. I believe Steve Pugh was the artist on their Peacemaker book, which was fantastic. So I'm excited to read this book. And Vertigo's back. What is this? Bleeding Hearts? Bleeding Hearts #3. Dennis Camp. Vertigo again back. I'm trying not to read the solicitations for any of these Vertigo books and just seeing the covers because I kind of want to go in blind for them. I think this is the Condon one. The Peril of Brutal Dark Ezra Kane Mystery. Danny cover. That's awesome. Again, not trying to read the solicitation because I am going blind with these. Last House at the Sea. Oh, we're taking bets on what will get delayed. Maybe this book. I feel like this book has stopped and started so many different times. Nice House by the Sea. #9. I actually have the Vertigo label, #1 that they gave out at New York Comic Con. Sirens, Love Hurts. Babstar, great artist. She. But I don't know if this is in continuity. This was really disappointing. Like the Batman Beyond Static crossover. I mean, they gave him the. Does Batman Beyond have the Arkham outfit? That's pretty cool. But yeah, the first issue was not what I expected. Who did? Oh, Ty Templeton, who was an artist who's done a lot of the Batman animated stuff. This is a really cool cover, but again, the first issue was a little disappointing. Batman Green Arrow, The Question, Arcadia. This is like my dream. Having these three characters together is awesome. Aquaman is your #2 ongoing. I wouldn't argue with that. That's a solid pick, honestly. Solid pick. Uh, yeah, I would say like the KO was a little bit like pacing wise a little weird, but still like it's a tie-in and it was pretty cool for me. Mad Magazine is back with Chip Zdarsky, so that's gonna be cool. Dark Knight Returns, Facsimile. So we got a bunch of facsimiles, and I think we're gonna get to Orion. Oh, Orion. I think they did a Barta book like this, like YA. Lex Luthor, Diabolical Genius. That's cool. Maybe I get my son that. Superman, Good Guy Gang. Absolute Flash, Volume 2. Looks like a bunch of Volume 2s. Volume 1 of Batman. That's going to be a pretty good gift. Yeah, looks like it's the trades. So, pretty cool. Again, exciting stuff. I'm excited for as they come along. Marvel hopefully turns things around pretty soon so that I can have a Marvel stream and go through their solicitations and be excited versus being like. So hopefully Iron Man is really good. The new Armageddon event turns things around. Cyclops looks really exciting, which comes out in a couple weeks. Appreciate you guys all for showing up for this stream. Again, I kind of put it together really quickly, and it's something I wanted to do to catch you guys up. It's the channel I've neglected in a lot of ways, mainly because it's hard to sit down and get my thoughts together and be what I need to be to kind of talk about certain things. So I appreciate all of your support. This channel has given me so much creatively that I can't give that back in a way that I feel is adequate, because like I said, it's given me so much juice to pursue, social media, try vlogging, all these things, and put myself out there, something that I've struggled with for a really long time. So appreciate you all. Thank you. I should have some new like regular videos coming out soon. Like I said, I have those thumbnails ready. I just have to film the videos. So appreciate you all. Thank you. Sean, appreciate you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the notifications. Basically, YouTube is like, oh, you put notifications on. Oh, you subscribe to that person. Yeah, we're not gonna tell you when they're live. So I try. If you can, if you have a spare moment, in the description there's the Discord. I try to update it when I can. I'm not as good with that as I should be, but I appreciate you all for showing up, and hopefully we make this something consistent.